Hello and welcome back to the track build. So I spent some time down here this morning. We got rid of the pile of clay that was here in the last video and try to walk backwards, I guess. It's kind of hard with the sun, but you can see that I've got everything painted out. All the lanes are repainted at this point with the orange paint. And I've got all the berms, or the banks are all kind of redefined. Sorry for the hand. We've got our jump is reestablished, and you can see the orange paint running down both sides of the track. So that basically is defining where the coping is going to go. And then once it's coped, I'm going to rake the loam into the coping. So the whole track has been kind of resurfaced and reestablished. The big loop on the other side. The only thing that's not really done is the tabletop over here. I'm going to build some sides out of wood to help hold that material up. So the next step in the process is going to be to get the black pipe where the orange lines are. And essentially what I'm going to do is drill the top of the pipe with, it's probably a 3/8 hole. I've got some twisty spikes. They're, I don't know, 12 inches. And some fender washers. I'll be able to get one out. So we'll take a nail and a washer, and that's going to hold the top of the pipe down, and then I'm going to bank in the track material and the loam on either side to help kind of hold it in place. So we're getting close. Cope it, rake the loam back in, and then I just need to kind of roll and fine tune the track surface. Looks good. And it's a gorgeous day to be doing this. It's Memorial Day weekend, Saturday of Memorial Day weekend. Everybody is gone. My entire family is out doing stuff, and I am here working on this. I don't want to be doing this summer. I want to get this done. I want to get the yard done. So it's still only, what, May 25th? Let's get this done while it's still spring. Summer starts June 21st. So that's kind of my mentality. So yeah, I'm gonna put you on time lapse. You guys can watch me get some coping down, and I'll see you after. Well, that's the end of today. I figured I would show you what I got done as far as the coping goes. So I'm standing basically in the starter lane. So I guess I'll go up to the starting position and turn around and walk it. All that's left to cope is the big loop. And that should be pretty simple because it's not banked or anything. So basically I gotta do the inner loop, and then I have to do the outer loop. But the outer loop starts at the kicker, and I want to get wood sides on the kicker. I want to do that before I cope it. So I'm kind of, at the end of the day, I really don't feel like getting out saws and screw guns and everything else. So I'm just gonna call it here. So 13 feet wide, just like the first video, or I don't remember, video 3 where I showed the lanes. So we're still 13 feet wide. Come down into our first kind of S-turn. Start shrinking down to about 11 feet right here, 11, 12-ish. We've got our 90 to our back straight. With our jump. Coming into our W. Coming into our hairpin. It's about 9 feet here. It's the narrowest point in the track. Kicker. And then around the, I call it the fast loop just because I have a feeling it's going to be fast. If there's no jumps in it, you're going to be able to kind of zip right around this thing. Back to the starting position. So I will bring you guys back tomorrow for another day. This video's not over yet. See you tomorrow. All right, we're down here. Sunday, Memorial Day weekend. Another day. Our first step is getting this kicker, tabletop, whatever you want to call it, sorted out. So I want to get rid of the fact that this thing is going to keep washing out. So basically I'm building sides for it. So this is a 10-foot and an 8-foot 2x8. And basically we're going to cut it along that line so that it's tapered coming up, flat, and tapered coming down. And then we're going to just put some 2x4 cleats with stake bottoms, and we're just going to stake it into the ground, one on either side, and that should define the tabletop. And then if I need to, that makes this 16 inches essentially, or 15. Not that the tabletop needs to be that high. We can leave some clearance from the dirt on the top if we want, but it essentially gives me something on the sides to keep it in place. And then once that's in place, then I can cope the rest of it. And all we have left is a circle. Hi, Sophie. Hi, girl. She loves running the track. Then I have to fix all the paw prints though. But yeah, we're getting there. Yesterday was a solid day. We got a lot of definition with the coping. So let's keep moving forward. I'll put you on time lapse again and see you whatever at the end of the day. Showing off my bald head. Yeah, you guys aren't used to seeing that. I have a hat on or my hair's long. Alopecia. That's what that is. You lose your hair when you're stressed. Yeah, I'm sweating like an animal. So this is the end of day 10. I was just doing the math. 2 days to take the trees down. You gotta remember, this was all woods when I started. So 2 days to take the trees down. And then it was 2 days to essentially get the walls built. Caleb and I believe it was 2 days. May only been 1 day, I don't remember, but let's call it 2. So for 4 days, sorry for the hand, 4 days out of 10 was just creating the space for the track. So essentially, if you had a field or something that was already flat and ready to go, those 4 days wouldn't even have mattered. So here we are at the end of day 10. I keep saying 2 more days and it'll be done. I honestly think at this point, 2 more days. At this point, all the coping is in, so the track is established. The tabletop sides are framed and in place. I still have to dress the tabletop, and I have half of the loam spread. Now, with that being said, I'm a bit, I don't want to say heartbroken, more frustrated. So I brought in the last video 2 triaxles of loam. Sorry, I'm sweating like crazy. It's warm. I brought in 2 triaxles of loam, and kind of got it placed where I wanted it around the track, but it's not nearly enough. And I didn't want to cope this and get the track done until all the material was down here, because I'm cutting across the front yard and I really need to get the front yard back in order for my wife. So I'm gonna keep it the way that it is for now with the loam that's here, but it's not what I want. I want, from coping to coping, I want it to be somewhat raised so that the loam is even with the top of the pipe, not halfway down. And essentially where we're at is halfway down at best. Around the tree really came out nice, but I made an emphasis when I was spreading the loam to really make sure that I put a good amount there. So what does it look like? You guys want to see it? I don't know if this is the end of the video or not. It might be another 2 days after this segment. I have to look at the clips and figure it out. But yeah, all right, I guess I'll show it to you. So you guys already saw that part of it, and you can see the tabletop sides now. There's the rest of it, and that's my pile. That's my pile of clay for the future. As you can see, the tree's all raked out. That's what I want it to look like, right? And that side's raked out. Let's go for a walk. Screw it. My wife keeps reminding me that I'm not building a world-class track here. It's supposed to just be a backyard fun thing. And I get it. But at the same time, walk this hill backwards. At the same time, I'm kind of a perfectionist. If you guys haven't figured that out yet. So for me, it's got to be the way I want it, the way I envisioned it. So this is raked. Coming around the first W, all that loam is raked. Not raked, but spread. Needs to just final raking. And it's almost to the top, and it tapers off. I just envisioned it being flat, you know, like the grass being flat and not being an edge all the way around. So this is the biggest bank. I'm gonna have to put some erosion fabric or something in there. And then that's where I ended before I came over and worked the tree. So the tree came out nice. Once that's all grass, it's gonna look killer. I pulled all the material away from the base of the tree, so I'm not choking the tree. For those of you that don't know trees, if you smother the base of the tree with material, you'll choke it off and kill it. So there's our tabletop. Obviously, sorry for the hand, my arm gets tired. That needs to be all worked and dressed, but the sides are in and they look good. And then our long loop, our fast loop, essentially. Poor compactor's been there for months. It's a good thing I own a couple of them. So all of this loam still needs to be knocked down, and there's not nearly enough in here. The one good thing is I do have access. Can't really see it, but right here there's an old four-wheeler trail that runs up to the back of my yard. So I'm probably just gonna widen that a little bit so I can still get some loads down in here and not be on the surface of the track itself, my trash pile. So that's gonna do it. I'm not sure if this is the end of the video or not. If it is, I'll see you in the next one. If it isn't, I'll see you in a second. Well, day 11's in the books. Wasn't really a full day. I didn't get going till about noon. It is a Saturday. What's today? June 1st, maybe. You guys will see this video hopefully Wednesday. I finished. I didn't film anything. I'm just giving you a synopsis at the end, just trying to add to the video and finish the track with this last video. I finished spreading the loam around the outside. I still have Morenci Lake. I went to spread that and I sunk up to my ankle in mud. So the track itself hasn't changed since you last saw it, but I did do a little bit of work on the driver's stand today, about 5 hours. Pretty well wrapped up. Couple pieces of fence still that need to go up. So I'm going to show you that real quick, and then tomorrow I'm going to be doing the walkway coming down. So I'll probably film a little bit of that, and then it'll just be a wrap up segment at the end, kind of showing you everything. And that'll do it. That'll be the end of this kind of track building series. So let me turn the camera around so I can show you what I did. All right, so there's the track, kind of how I left it. Still have to work the tabletop. I'll probably try to do that first thing tomorrow, so that's done. And then you can see the loam on Morenci Lake. Still needs to be spread, but I was able to get the rest of it done all the way around. So you can see a ramp. Before, you used to have to jump from land to deck. So we got a ramp in today. I got my fence panels up, a couple of benches or tables with some chairs. So I'm basically gonna put a piece along this side and along the far side of fence, just to keep stuff from falling off the table this way. And then I'm gonna wire some outlets on the fence along the back. And then for now, I'm just gonna run it into a box so I can plug a double pronged extension cord into it to feed power to it. And then at some point I'll bring a live wire down. So when I'm using the track, I'll just run the cord, plug it in, and then all those outlets go live. And then at some point we'll get some lighting and stuff out here too, but that's all down the road. I'm just trying to get going here and get my lawn seeded before July comes. So yeah, that's the track as we last saw it. And then on this side of the driver's stand where the drop off is, we've got some stairs. They're just kind of thrown in there for now, so I got to get those secure. I'll probably do another railing on this side, like that one. So railing here, fence here, and then fence on that side. And then that'll wrap it up. That'll wrap up the driver's stand. The track is pretty well there. Like I said, tomorrow we'll get the tabletop done. Maybe I'll be able to finally step in that and get that spread out. Get the compactor out of there. Do have a little washout over there that's gonna need to be addressed. We had some wicked rain the other night, like torrential, but the track actually took it really well. Pleasantly surprised, because it poured harder than I've ever seen it. In fact, the hill washed out, and that never happens. So tomorrow we gotta address this disaster. So we're gonna get the walkway in, the old walkway, and then somehow I've gotta Y it this way and get it up onto this plateau. It's probably a 2-foot grade change between the two as you come down. So from there to there is probably at least 20 inches. So I want to try to cuff that down with the excavator and get a piece of that concrete laid in there, and then I'll just put some crushed stone or something leading you over to the ramp, and that's gonna do it. Looks good though. I mean, it's, I'm not gonna say professional, but for a backyard deal, I got a spot now where I can sit down and address a car if I need to. I got a spot where I can be charging batteries, and then I can be hanging out running, and there's probably enough space there for at least 4 to 6 people. So I will see you tomorrow. I'm gonna get my mess cleaned up, and tomorrow we'll be in the excavator again. All right, it's the last day. I've been waiting for this day. Day 12. So, like I said in the last clip, we're going to address getting some material down to the tabletop real quick, and then we are going into walkway up. So I'll throw you on time lapse real quick. This is really the last day I have to put into this for now, short of some hours here and there, just kind of doing some fine tuning, but we're not going to film that. So let me get you on time lapse. You guys can sit back and watch the last day of me kind of doing what I need to get done, and I'll see you at the end. right, so it's the end of day 12 and it's the end of this series. So I'm gonna flip the camera around and show you the walkway. Came out better than I thought. It's not 100% done, but I'm gonna say the construction is done and we're down to maintenance. For the sake of finishing the videos, the next video you see of the track will be of me running. So let's take a look at what we finished. So this is the old front walkway. I didn't have enough to get all the way up to the edge. So the edge of the yard is here, right? So I'm probably, I don't know, 20 feet short, but it's fine. It actually worked out a lot better than I thought. Now this walkway was cracked to hell before, which is why we replaced it at the house. But this just gives us a firm footing now coming down this slope. The cracks I'll fill in with stone dust just so it's not a trip hazard. So I ended up building this section of rock wall here. I'll probably put one rock right there in the gap, but I did that to create a walkway up to the driver's stand. So it wasn't my intention to use this section to get up and down to the track with your car, but now it's actually not anywhere near as steep, so we probably will. So this is just going to get graveled in. Now you're not climbing a hill or anything. It's a nice easy progression straight to the driver's stand. And then I was just finishing a final rake. I got to get the starter lane done, and then it's basically rake and roll, right? Not rock and roll, but rake and roll. So yeah, it came out awesome. Looks good, all raked in. It's nice and hard, which is great, but you can still get a rake through it. So the surface is actually, I think it's gonna be perfect. You never know till you're running it. The tabletop is all dressed out now. So yeah, the next time you see this, I'll be trying to figure out how to film a car as I'm driving around it, because I still haven't quite figured that out. I probably will use my NB4 Pro, and I'll just have to learn to kind of follow the car as I'm driving. Right? So yeah. So that's gonna do it for the series, the track build series. That's one of the off-channel goals. Complete. 12 full days. That's blowing the trees down, getting rid of the trees, creating a flat area, putting up the walls, and then building the entire track, dressing it inside and out, building the driver's stand, and putting in the walkway. It was about what I thought. It was a lot of work, but in all honesty, I didn't want to half-ass it and just throw something together. I wanted something that was sustainable, that was nice enough where, you know, when I come down here and there's leaves on it and stuff, I'm not gonna just walk away from it and neglect it. It's too nice to do that. So it's gonna force me to maintain it, which is fine. I'm fine with doing that. But if it was a half-ass track in the woods, I probably wouldn't, and it would not make me happy. So this will make me happy. We'll be able to get my collection down here and run these cars and run them on a surface indicative of what they were designed for. So that's gonna do it. I hope you guys enjoyed the series. If you're not already a subscriber, I'd ask you to consider subscribing to support the channel. Let me know in the comments what you think of the final product. Throw me a thumb up. No thumbs down. Not on this. Until next time, see you soon with a car. Later.